Hi, and welcome to episode 2 of JETBLACK Music Industry Talk. My name is Jared Traeger. I'm your host. I am an artist manager, developer, A&R, and booking agent based in South Africa. We have a strong focus on electronic music and taking it to a global market. I was hoping to get this to happen more often, but it seems to be difficult putting people down, even in lockdown, where they have nowhere to go. And it's like, I know where you are, but here we are. A lot of the talks, we're delving into people's lives, their experiences, and there's an opportunity here to gain perspective and knowledge through their experiences, their mistakes, and of course their successes. Many of the people I'm chatting to are people I have business and personal relationships with. And the idea is to keep things conversational, current. You know, we live in such a fast-paced and ever-changing industry. And right now, if there was ever a time to use the word disrupt, well, I think the entire planet has been disrupted by coronavirus. And while no one has the solid answers, it's just great to get some perspective from respected music industry people and some good opinions with that. On today's podcast, we invite a talent way beyond his years. Always with his business cap on, he brings a fresh new age thinking to both the South African music industry and the world. Welcoming Shimza. So it's our second edition of JETBLACK Music Talk and our second guest, obviously, introducing in this episode the South African superstar DJ, the very talented Shimza, aka Ashley. Are we calling you Shimza or Ashley today?
It's up to you, bro. They're both my names.
I mean, we've got a relationship here, so you know, I feel like it's Ashley. And we're looking at each other right now. You know, not everyone will be able to see this conversation, but as you've just noticed, I've got my COVID-19 cave. You're sitting in your studio. You've been quite active in studio during this time. So, Ash, let's get into this. You know, I just want to chat to you about yourself and what's going on and where things are at with the current state of the world, I guess. For those that don't have a very well-known relationship with you, you know, you're South African. You grew up in Tembisa. You've still got a strong relationship with Tembisa, where you hold your one-man show. You know, you give back to the community. Your mother is a school teacher from Tembisa, which obviously taught you to work hard and give you some strong ethic. Tell us a little bit about growing up in Tembisa and how it took you to a life of music.
Growing up in Tembisa was quite cool, man. You know, I feel like if I was born in a different part of the country, I would not be who I am today. You know, I think growing up in Tembisa built my character. It exposed me to a lot of things that ordinarily some people wouldn't be exposed to till later on in their lives, where they've got the freedom to do whatever they want to do, you know. I started playing in Tembisa, Stockfields, small parties, 21st birthday parties, all of those things, you know. But musically, even my style of DJing and just the story about seeing what's going on around me and shaping that to shaping who Shimza is today.
Yeah, I mean, talking about your style of music and the way you play has given you many nicknames along the way. There's one that I'm interested. Where did Major One come from?
Major One comes from a priest called Bushiri. He's a scam. You know, he's a scam, but people love him.
Okay, yeah.
People love him. So it was like people are just amazed of how I DJ and the style of music that I play. And someone just said, bro, like, you are the Major One. And I was like, okay, I'll take it and I'll own it. Even though the priest is not the best of guys to be named after. I felt like the name Major One for me was quite cool.
You've owned it. I mean, you've taken it. And there was something else along the way. Obviously, particularly crowds in Joburg are prone to chanting and whatever. But it's, you can't think of the name Shimza without a "we wanna party." It just comes out.
Shimza, we wanna party.
Where did that start?
I think it started during my one-man shows. When I'd be playing and probably be at like a peak of a set, and people just feeling it, and they would chant that even during maybe performances, and they want me to jump on stage. That call me out, like,
so it just randomly happened.
Yeah,
somebody obviously just sparked up, and the rest of the people followed. They gave you your tagline. They pretty much gave it to you.
Yep. So cool. It came to a point where I even had boards printed out with the tagline "Shimza, we wanna party" for my festivals. And it just grew from that, man. And until today, people still like using that chant.
That's pretty wild. That's very cool.
Yeah.
And I mean, a lot of people don't know that we do a lot of work together. Particularly A&R, and we work more on your global strategy. But obviously, even when we started working together, you had built up your strength locally as to a huge degree, and globally to a large degree. But I mean, to a superstar status in your own territory. How important do you think it is to have that strength and that proof of product at home from your own community and where you come from to take to the world?
I mean, starting where you're from is probably the best thing for you to do, because as much as we all want to be global superstars, but if you're a no one back at home, it's sort of a bit harder to break in overseas, because they'll be on some, okay, cool, you're from Timpie. What have you done in your hood? You're like, no, I was still trying to, But when you say, this is what I've done where I come from, these are the festivals that I do, this is the profile that I have where I am, you're prone to people sort of taking you a bit seriously, but also from my experience with you guys, explaining to me how the international packaging is, it's sort of like different, you're like, yeah, you might not have a profile back at home, but you can still make it overseas if you have the right strategy to fit that direction that you want to go into, So sometimes I feel like, yeah, it's cool to build a brand back here at home. You've got proof of product, and people have a bit more strength and trust in your brand. But you can still create a global strategy with nothing back here at home.
I mean, that was kind of leading to my next question. It's so interesting, like we've had many conversations on it. It's great to have a proof of product back at home. It really is. And it's very important to be supported by your own community before you take your product and your skills and talents to other places. However, it's quite different. I mean, from your experience, how different is South Africa to many of the other territories that you are touring and releasing music in?
I mean, sometimes I feel like people like authenticity, and I look at it from my end, and I'm like, before I even met you guys, I worked so hard that it was a bit impossible for people to ignore me to a certain extent. They liked the work ethic. They liked what I've been building myself, so much that they want to jump onto it. Like I'm probably one of maybe one or two big artists in South Africa that even played in Ibiza. like that played with people from the island just doing their research, finding me and booking me to go play there without a South African saying that guy is doing great things in South Africa, bring him through, But I understood the fact that yes, I had a proof of product where I come from, but if it didn't make sense for the people that I'm playing for, it's as good as nothing. I'll have that gig play and that's it.
Sure.
But for me as a DJ that's from Timbisa that got an email randomly from like Destino in Ibiza saying, bro, we like what you're doing. Please come open up for Luciano. I was like, damn, that's crazy. I would not have ever thought that would have happened without a strategy. But I went there, I did it. But then after that, there was nothing because I had no strategy to work in that territory, which is why it's very important for us. As much as you have a proof of product back here at home, you need to have a strategy that works hand in hand with where you want to go.
For sure. I think it's like anywhere. I mean, ultimately, you may not even realized it, but you had a strategy at home where there was consistency and engaging with your audience. And I think that's something that you've done so well, is that you've got like a super engaged audience. I mean, just the fact that you've got these nicknames and you've got these taglines that were given to you by real fans. And I think that has a lot to do with, your not only your performance and how connected you are to the people you're playing to, but how involved you are and how much you give back, and you're engaged with your community. And I think
it's very important for me. It's very important because I was made by the people in my community. I started playing in Tembisa. I had a residency at Caprivi, which was a bar, and people started knowing me from there. They started following me. I started doing my own events there, and I think I was probably one of the first people to ever do big events on a bigger scale in Tembisa, and that sort of got me in contact with my people because I had to make use of all the conversations that people are having, asking questions. Hey guys, I'm thinking of doing this. What do you guys think? So people feel like they have worked hand in hand with me in building my brand, and they are happy that I'm from their hood, which gives me more strength. That even if people from other places in the world can say, yeah, we don't care about that guy, they'll still be on some. Bro, if they don't want you, you can come back home and let's have a party. So I've got that backing, and I really appreciate it.
I think it's also interesting, there's this interest in Africa, obviously, and South Africa in particular, and here they see an artist such as yourself, like this European, these European promoters and so on, and they see someone who has such an engaged fan base with music that they like, but they haven't adapted to, and they see, a lot of the European, what I'm trying to articulate, a lot of the Europeans that come and tour South Africa, they don't really get to go and play to the real audience of South Africa a lot of the time, if you know what I mean. And then you go to like your one-man show in Soweto or your one-man show in Tembisa, and here are true fans that would choose that party over any international artist. That's their annual, that's the place. And it shows by just the way they're just completely letting themselves go and having the best night of their life. And that's ultimately what it's about. That's the experience of sharing music with people. It's such a beautiful thing. And that's enticing. That's for overseas people to see that. They're like, wow, I want to bring that energy and that music and that person who has obviously connected with his fans in a huge way. I want to bring him over here.
It works. Like like you say, that you have a proof of product and people are seeing these nice vibes that you're putting out on videos, YouTube, all of that stuff when they're researching about you, and they, like you said, they want that atmosphere in their party,
For sure.
and it's up to you to keep and stay true to what you offer back here at home, and give the same energy as you do back here at home to them that side, because you don't want people booking you because you so dope back here at home, you play a certain style, and then you get there and you want to be like them. Like, you're from Africa, bro. Like, be African. That's what
For
people
sure.
want.
Hold on to the
If they
heritage.
want another European DJ, they'll probably book the next available European DJ from next door. So like, just being authentic for me is what sells us a lot. Even though sometimes you guys, our A&Rs, you want us to adapt to some styles. Like, yeah, it's cool, but
Our job is to always go. The way I try and explain it is, if someone is leaning too accessible, you want to make them a little bit more edgy. If they're too edgy, that they're not introducing people to their sound, you want to make them a little bit more accessible. It's not about changing them, but it's about finding the balance to build their audience.
Yeah, the balance is a bit difficult, but I think once you get your groove, you should be fine.
For sure.
We're struggling a bit to get it right, but as soon as we do get it, like, we should be fine.
If I mean, that's also the thing, I think people see the success, and it's hard work. There's a lot of hard work that goes into the back end of it. It's not easy. It's difficult.
Bro, it's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of heartache because of all the no's that you get and you don't get it. Like, you're like, why would you say no? And sometimes it's just not your time.
There were words that you have said to me before, and they resonated and they stuck with me. I think it was, don't compare yourself to others' success. Compare yourself to your own growth.
You've got your own journey, man.
You've got to look at your own growth. And those words really resonated with me because they're so true in so many circumstances. And anyway, talking about your own groove, your own growth, and proof of product back home, there's something at the moment. You've got the golden ticket right now. The world is going through a bit of chaos. Where everything's in a bit of disarray, and you managed to think real quick, which was innovative, smart. And you obviously thinking that people still want to engage with you and your music and a whole bunch of other artists, and you jumped on this lockdown house party. How did you move on this so quickly? Where did the thought process come from, and how did you get it going so fast?
Bro, I see opportunities, and one thing about me is that I'm a very active person. I'm very active. I'm very business driven. I calculate some of my moves, and with that, I was like, bro, we're going to see shit. And how do I sort of duck that shit,
Yeah.
And for me, it was virtual, man. I saw a lot of guys doing a lot of parties themselves at home, internationally, clubs doing that, And I was like, the only reason that this thing is not really blowing up, as much as you've got your 5 million fans or whatever, it can be greater if you work with other people, and that's why I decided, instead of having a Shimza's one-man show online edition, let me have an online party and invite most of my friends that are willing to play a set, and that's where it started. And because of the collective effort and putting it on everyone's Facebook page, we could reach more people, and people were sort of enticed to follow this thing. They were asking, when is the next one? What's the lineup?
Did you
And
expect it to be this big?
I expected it to be big because of the caliber of artists that I had on the lineup, and I programmed that party the same way I would program a festival that I'd be throwing in Timpie, for instance. I was like, I'm gonna do this, put this DJ at this time, that DJ at that time, because of the style of music that they play, and I made sure that the production was dope from word go, so that it was not like a Mickey Mouse type of thing. And I knew that there would be a bit of interest from people, sponsors, But as we were busy doing that thing, man, like the response was, one, amazing. Two, like as soon as we were done, the channel was like, bro, you had so much impact and we want this on our TV, and I was like, shit, okay, let's do it, And now it's one, not even one of, it's the most watched show in SA right now.
I mean, just to give some perspective here, I mean, every Friday and Saturday night, the trending hashtag on Twitter is Lockdown House Party. I mean, what are do you know what your viewers are roughly? Like stats?
We took Channel O from 20,000 viewers to over 500,000 viewers every Friday and Saturday.
That's wild.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
it's numbers wild. It's numbers that they haven't seen in a long time, and for us to give them a product that has worked from first episode till to date, it's something that I think my gods were with me, man, when we preached that thing to them. It was a learning thing for me as well, because I went into a territory that I would ordinarily not be part of, making TV. Okay, like when did I get here? But even when that was pitched to channel, I had an option to do it in my studio, invite people to my house, white wall, just the light with CDJs. But I was like, no, I'm not going to go that route where I can cut costs and make this thing look trash. I'm gonna take it to a TV level so that the brands that are involved and the TV station that's involved feels like we're giving them value for money, so that even tomorrow when I come with something else, they know that this guy, his events are proper production. Even with TV, we gave him an opportunity to do TV, and he didn't just give us by the way, he gave us something that we are proud to put on TV, So it was never about the money that we can make now. It's a long-term strategy.
I mean, it's also given a lot of artists a platform. There's a couple of artists that I've spoken to. In fact, their social media numbers jumped drastically just from being on the show. I think people are sitting at home. Obviously, people are sitting at home at the moment, so they are far more engaged. You've got people watching this on TV. No one's out. And there's limited opportunities to get in front of so many people. What a great opportunity. With that, on the other side of the coin, there's also been some controversy over it, hasn't there? I mean, the number one trending is Lockdown House Party, and then there was a little bit of drama on Twitter.
I mean, Jay, with so many eyes on what we are doing, you are bound to have someone that's going to say something, and you'll say something back. And because there's like 500,000 or 200,000 people following what you are doing now because of this big thing that you're doing, it's going to get to that, And I'm human, like I'm fucking human. I wake up like everyone else. I've got feelings, I've got pressures, I've got stresses like everyone, and I just fell into a point where this guy was just on my Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, asking people to Instagram, Facebook, Twitter me, after I had told him that the show was pre-recorded. At some point I was like, bro, come on. Like, I need to be on my Twitter so that I can see the feedback for the show. I need to be on my Twitter to search and look for new upcoming DJs that I can put on the show. And there you are every day on all my social media platforms, and you are still asking people to tag me on your stuff. So every time I go onto all my social media platforms, it's this guy, man. And I had to tell him, I was like, bro, like, this is really annoying, But I guess
the hustle is real.
The hustle is real, but there's also a difference between hustling someone and harassing someone. It's a very thin line. And honestly speaking, I felt harassed, I felt harassed by this guy that I had told that, bro, this thing has been pre-recorded,
I think it's a tough thing
choice,
for you being in the public eye. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's a tough thing.
My choice of words were probably maybe like were wrong, but I was expressing how I was feeling. And obviously then people didn't care what was happening, didn't care how I felt. It was like, no, you can't speak like this to someone that's asking you for an opportunity and all of that stuff,
Yeah.
And I guess that's where the backlash came. But you see with all of that stuff that you sort of like with social media these days, you sort of like on the borderline of yes, we like you, but the day you make a mistake, we are going to hammer you, and you have to take it like a big boy, like for me, I understand what I'm in for, I understand that it's real out there, Twitter is full of people that also have nothing to do at home. They're just sitting waiting for the next trend. They'll jump on just to put memes and do all sorts of funny things, But if you understand the industry that you are in, you will know that tomorrow Beyonce can say something and it's their turn for people on Twitter to shit on them. Tomorrow someone divorces because they cheated, and if you understand that today is my turn, tomorrow it can be someone else, then that shit doesn't matter to you. You're like, okay, I made a mistake, I apologized, I'm moving on with my life.
But I think it's
and
also
you try and make sure that you don't fall into that shit anymore.
It's also got to do with the fact that I think people they see you at face value. They see your success and where you are now, and you've obviously opened yourself up to criticism, being in the public eye. But they forget one, the journey, and the amount of people that probably shut you down on the way getting there, and then also being an artist is you really putting yourself out there for criticism. You make mistakes and people jump on the bandwagon. Like you said, you're human, and sometimes you're not viewed as human.
But also, like, what I console myself with is bro, we have over 160 DJs that we are putting on that platform.
Yeah.
More than 80% of those people are people that are not known, but it's people that kick ass, it's females, it's gays and lesbians that you've never heard of, but they get there and they have an impact, and you're like, so you guys are going to make noise because I said no to one person and I'm helping 90 or 100 other DJs, that need the platform. So what are you saying? Shimza must fall so that what? I cut this thing, it doesn't happen, and then the other 80 DJs don't get the platform because I told one guy to chill.
You
like
put your time into the curation of this.
exactly.
I think the same way a DJ would think about his track listing and look at a crowd, and it's like I understand if I had to compare it to somebody constantly requesting a song, and you're like, trust, that statement, trust the DJ. Just like,
Yeah,
let me do
I'm
my
coming.
thing.
Like if you're working hard enough and
I'll see you.
you're really dope, we're going to see you. We're going to hear you. So people need to be patient. That's one thing that I've always said to people. I'm like, bro, I didn't just come up today by annoying people and asking for handouts. I worked till I was noticed by people that are in the same industry as I am. And it doesn't mean if you are not working hard enough that people won't notice you. It might be your lucky break. Like I think even that guy should be happy that I shut him down because
he got a lot of PR, man.
He got a lot of PR. He got a lot of Twitter followers. He got help from people. He got help from brands. And then after that, you see the very same people that were on Twitter shitting on me, digging up stuff that he did like in 2016 and 2017, coming back and then saying he must fall. So when you understand the industry that you are in and the way people react to shit, you'll see that, bro, like, take what you can from every situation and move on with what works for you. That's it.
Yeah, it's good advice.
Yeah, it's definitely
advice. I mean, moving into the rest of the year, this is obviously, this was designed and it'll probably continue past lockdown. It's been such a success.
Yeah.
But looking at the rest of the year and everything that's happening with COVID-19, I mean, no one's got the answers right now, but like, what are your thoughts? So many things have been cancelled and postponed, and people's headspaces are in different places. What are your thoughts on the rest of the year, particularly in regard to the music industry and the entertainment industry?
Bro, we need to take it as it comes, man. We don't know where we'll be next year. We don't know where we'll be in December, but
sure.
We have all this time to work on strategies that can help us after this this pandemic. Work on your music, work on whatever brand or anything that you are selling. Work on it now because people are on their phones. If you're a DJ, do as many mixes as you can. Put them out there. Don't annoy people, but put them there for people to see that you are actually still working. I mean, like for me, even on the show, people are like, bro, you need to give other children a chance. You can't hear. And I'm like, no, I'm protecting my brand. I'm protecting my food. So that when the gates are open again, I'm also still top of mind for any promoter that wants to book any DJ. And I'm like, you're saying we must step aside, myself and PH, and not DJ on the show. Like, would you quit your job to give another person a chance that needs your salary? Because people think entertainment is just entertainment to them, and they don't understand that it's food for some of us, right? Entertainment for you, but for me, it's the way I live, So I need to make sure that I protect my food as much as I can. As much as I can, I've got a platform that I can share with other people, but I need to also think about myself at the end of the day, So moving forward with all of this, making sure that you are top of mind of every promoter, every venue in the world, in South Africa, with our platform. But with Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, you can still be that guy that's putting out your content, so that by the time the gates are open, people know you from being at home and watching what you're doing on their phones.
There's also a lot of value in protecting your brand and maintaining your brand, and then offering a platform to upcoming artists through your brand. particularly in Southern Africa territory, the same way you would be affiliated to certain brands in other territories where your brand is developing. Obviously you have a strong connection to Luciano, and in certain territories, you would be kind of guided by him, but if he came to Southern Africa, it's a little different. So I think there's a lot of value in the platform that you're offering to rising artists through your own brand. You're giving back, man, in a way, in essence.
It's very important. It's very important for that, and this didn't just start now with the lockdown house party. Every time I have my one-man show, I've got free workshops that I curate myself. I put everyone together, and I share information with young people, whoever who wants to learn about the music industry, and using my journey as like a learning path for them. I also put together
initiatives that you're involved in. Sorry to interrupt. Other than the workshop, from the and I'm maybe being presumptuous, from the inspiration that your mother's a school teacher, you give out school shoes to school children, and you visit schools. And tell us a little bit about some of the initiatives that you're currently involved in.
I give away, I think every year, about 250,000 worth of school shoes and uniforms to young and underprivileged kids from the hood, and it goes back to me just saying, what, we get so much love from people. We get so many gigs because people like us and love us and follow our music. People buy our music, but we never step back and say, okay, cool. With so much love that I'm getting from people, what am I giving back to people that show us love? So with me, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna use my platform to make a difference where I come from, so that it also inspires other people to do the same. Because if you do a bit that you can, and the other person does the bit that they can, at the end of the day, like collectively, we're doing like something quite big, So besides me just giving away shoes, I'm trying to inspire other people to get into the culture of giving back, especially artists and DJs that are loved by a lot of people.
I think it also it keeps you real when people grow and they're contributing back. It reminds them of their growth, where they came from and where they are, and it just it gives other people the platforms to grow from where they are. So it's a very important thing. It really is. Specifically right now during this time when everything is so uncertain in the world, do you think things will get back to the same after COVID-19, after all of this? Do you think the entertainment world is going to be different?
For some time it won't be the same. The rules and regulations will be totally different. I think they're going to stop festivals and large gatherings for some time.
But do you think even when we get to that, even when we get to, these festivals can happen, do you think the effect that it's had on the economy and, do you think it'll be the same as it was? Do you think we're going to start from a different place?
It's going to be different, right? Like, everyone is feeling it. Every economy in the world is feeling it. There's no place on earth right now that's saying we're doing well in terms of economics. People are going to lose their jobs, meaning there's less people with money to buy tickets and food and just have like liquid money. So for every industry, the food, entertainment, everything, it's just going to not be the same for a very long time.
I was thinking about it the other day in terms of one, what the rand is sitting at to the dollar, the euro, the pound, and also the fact that even locally, how inflation will rise and how people will have less jobs and ticket prices will have to either stabilize or drop, or and what it might do in turn is make local artists the superstars, because there might be less people touring from overseas due to the currency, due to so many factors,
but Jay, from experience that the reason why we as South Africans don't have as many internationals coming to South Africa as we would love to is because we don't have the money. The currency is just too weak, and now this has made it even worse for us. And it's I just wish there was someone that could explain to all these artists to say, bro, like we can't do it. But now
there's an opportunity to drive the local talent, to get more numbers.
Yeah,
to
definitely.
Spend on tickets for local talent.
But that some locals don't sell tickets, and for you to get people to a venue as an investment, you need to book people that people want to see,
Of course.
Like in South Africa, you find good DJs that charge 2, 3, 4, 5K.
Yeah.
And you get DJs that you might even question why they're charging so much, but they're getting that money because they sell tickets. So
of course
it's not a value thing. It's a ticket selling industry. And if you don't sell tickets, you won't have as many gigs as other people, no matter how good you can be. So we need to work on our brands so that they're strong enough for promoters to be able to justify why they need to pay you as much as the other guy, and make it worthwhile for them to book you.
Yeah. I'm just hoping we go back to, at the moment, no ticket sales matter right now, hopefully people are spending more time engaging with the talent and the music and the things that are so true and real about musicians and artists,
Yeah, definitely.
And hopefully, maybe we can try and find some positives that come from this. A more engaged community in this entertainment industry.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Let's hope for something positive on the other side, but get through the next couple of months first, I think.
Yeah, we all suffering, man. We're all suffering. Some are suffering more than others, and we need to just be creative and find ways in which we can survive, man. Yeah. But this too shall pass, man.
Well, Ash, it's been really good chatting to you. Obviously working with you, I'm a bit biased, but you're innovative and out the box thinking, and your hard work ethic and giving back to the communities, I think, and I believe is what has expedited your brand and kept you selling tickets. And I'm sure it'll go from strength to strength. It's been a pleasure chatting to you and, of course, working with you. If there's any final message that you would like to give to those listening.
Not much, man. Just encouragement to say, just keep pushing, man. Just keep pushing. This should not discourage you from even posting your old mixes. If you don't have CDJs at home as an artist, post your old mixes that you have. Just be creative, man. Be creative. This is a time where you can even think of ideas that you'll be doing after you've been on lockdown. But stay positive. Make sure that you go for what you want. This is going to pass, and it should find you ready once it's all gone.
Thank you so much. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks, brother.
Thanks so much for joining us on our second episode of JETBLACK Music Industry Talk. If you have any suggestions or thoughts you want to share with us, people you think we should interview, any questions, feel free to email us on info@jetblack.co.za. My name is Jared Traeger. Until next time.